Hello and welcome to your worst nightmare. Like straight up. This series of video is going to cover detailed tutorials relating to the S5's CAUA 4.2 liter engine with a manual transmission, but these videos should be easily applied to the 3 liter supercharged models as well. I'll be covering front end / radiator support removal, engine removal with wire harness removal, cat delete into race pipes, comprehensive guide on timing chain, tensioner, and guides replacement, thermostat and water pump replacement, intake carbon cleaning, fuel rail injectors and spark plug replacement / maintenance, oil cooler maintenance, starter replacement, engine bay cleaning, serpentine belt replacement, rad support replacement / radiator removal, engine mount replacement, other things as well, like the location of critical mechanical components, tips and tricks to working on these vehicles, diagrams and torque specs, and other general maintenance. I have to pay out of pocket for all this shit, and these parts ain't cheap, so there will be more performance / upgrade videos coming, but for now, this is what to expect. Depending on what your S5 needs, there should be enough information in these videos that will help you get the job done. Throughout this nightmare, you'll probably be wondering how they managed to fit everything in the engine bay. It's almost impossible to do anything to this car without either removing the engine, dropping the subframe, or removing the front end. This is probably why there's no other videos relating to this vehicle, because no one wants to work on it. Make sure you watch the videos fully before you start the job, as I do mention important things, and forget stuff that I cover later on in the videos. And this can all pretty much be done in your driveway with a jack stands, but it will be the worst time of your life, just saying. So keep that in mind. Definitely recommend renting a hoist or something. Welcome to hell. Let's get right into it.
I've been stuffed in your pocket for the last 100 days. When I don't get my bath, I take it out on the slaves. So grease up your baby for the ball on the hill. I'll polish them rockets now.
So start off by disconnecting your battery. We're going to be messing around with the SRS airbag couplers, and remove your bumper and headlights. I'm not going to be covering these in detail as I have a custom setup, so you won't be able to follow along regardless. And there are videos that show you how to do this either on the A5, S5, or RS5. It's all the same. Now is probably a good time for me to mention as well that I'm not a licensed mechanic, so take what I'm saying with a grain of salt.
You've been drinking my blood, well, I've been licking your wounds. Well, I'll shave off the pitch now and the scope of your tune. You'll sing, oh. Space Lord, mother.
Yeah, I'm not sure why I left this part of the video so long. I could have cut it out, but I guess I decided not to. Nice. After that, disconnect the headlight washer hose by pulling out the blue clip and removing the big hexagonal plastic screw to give you more clearance, and remove the headlight bracket by removing the 2 screws. On the passenger side and driver's side, start disconnecting all the couplers and connectors that you can see that would hold the rad support to the frame of the car. If there are any hidden ones, I'll show you them, don't worry. There is a connector along the radiator that connects into the garage door opener I already removed. It's got 3 screws on it, it sits on the bumper. And I decided to take the horns off instead of just disconnecting them. You can do either, doesn't really matter. You can leave the horns on if you want. And then remove the hood latch along the driver's side of the vehicle, and there's a connector beside it that needs to be disconnected as well. So here I'm just showing that garage door opener, that there's your horn, and then for some reason I left this in the video. I'm just keeping everything out of the way. I'm just zip tying it up to the body of the car. It's not actually on the rad support there. So you can see there's not too many couplers. It's not too complicated. There's the garage door, or fuck, the hood latch and the coupler that's behind it. You just gotta open it up, take out the metal thread or whatever it is, metal cable. Yeah, good stuff. So finish disconnecting the headlight washer hose by removing the hexagonal screw on that side, as well as the headlight housing plastic piece. Got to break that clamp there. It's a one-time use clamp. You have to break them to get them off. I'll be replacing all of mine that I break with conventional hose clamps that you screw to tighten or loosen. Yeah, and it was stuck on there pretty good. So I don't know what I'm doing there, but okay. Grab a bucket because now we're going to be disconnecting the lower rad hose. Make sure the car's cold because this can be under a lot of pressure and it can burn you when it sprays out. If it is hot, it does take a handful of minutes to drain, so when it's draining, you can remove the thin hose from the coolant reservoir at the top of the radiator, or to the top of the radiator, circled in red. In a couple seconds here, it's going to come up on the screen. So just follow it to where it connects into the radiator and disconnect it on both ends. Yeah, right there. So the next thing we're going to do is discharge the AC lines. These lines contain a refrigerant that is under extreme pressure and is incredibly toxic. So when that pressure is released, the gas condenses really quickly, making it incredibly cold or something. I don't really know. I'm not a scientist. I do know that it only takes a few seconds to give you frostbite. So make sure you wear gloves, long sleeves, and safety glasses at least. I did mine the totally legit way, but here I'm showing you the bad way to do it. Don't do it this way. I mean, nobody can really stop you if you do it this way, if they don't see you do it. But I'm only adding it in here for educational purposes on what not to do. So take a long ass screwdriver and stick it in the Schrader valve until no more gas is expelling. Wait a minute and discharge it again, and do that 5, 6, 7 times to make sure the gas is fully out of the AC lines. So when you disconnect them, it'll just spray out and get you right in the face. So after you've done that, you can disconnect your 2 AC lines. Be careful, there could still be Freon inside them. There's no trick to them, just pull them straight out. They can be really stuck. I ended up breaking one of mine, so be patient and be gentle. And then disconnect the power steering cooler lines as well. Break the clamps and get a towel ready because they are full of fluid and they will leak everywhere into your radiator. Which, I'm speaking from experience there. So I guess I'm just trying to give a better look at the clamps and how you break them. I just stick a screwdriver in them and twist them until they crack. So then remove the 6 large crash bar bolts and leave in the 2 small nuts on each side, or one on each side that connected to the rad support. This way you can have something to grab onto when you take it off. I didn't do this, so again, speaking from experience here. Yeah, the six aluminum bolts are holding the rad support into the frame of the car, so they do have to come out. So put something to support the radiator and undo the 2 screws holding the top of the radiator support in place. This will let it kind of swing down and forward on the cradle arms, giving us a lot of clearance to remove these fan couplers. So remove these 2 fan couplers. I feel like it's a good time to say that I'll keep these videos short and to the point for your convenience. So if you do find them helpful, make sure give it a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button. Piece of shit. I cut my pinky open, so be careful. Something's sharp back there. I broke my coupler, as you can see. So don't become impatient. Just pull that red tab back, and push down on it and pull it straight out. That should clear the little lip. Some of the stuff I missed. So I missed the upper rad hose with the circle there, the red circle. The upper air intake funnel thing, it's just held in by 2 screws. Should be able to figure that out. And then the secondary air intake on the bottom left. Yeah, that's just 3 bolts holding it in, so you can just take that out or disconnect it. It's up to you. Now finally, you can remove the full radiator support by disconnecting the 2 screws on the bottom that hold the cradle arms in place. I put the top screws back in just so it didn't drop on my head. So yeah, undo those 2 screws. Little by little here apparently. 1/4 turn at a time. Holy fuck. Sure am taking my sweet time with those bolts. I don't know why I left the video so long here. Yeah, my shit's busted up. Shouldn't look like that, so I'm going to be replacing this whole support, taking off the radiator and the coolant lines and stuff, and putting it on a new rad support. So yeah, you just kind of got to wiggle it off the cradle arms, and yeah, this is what you should be left with. So yeah, I go ahead and cover up all the open ends with saran wrap or rags or something. And remember, it's your responsibility to do a once-over and make sure everything is disconnected before you yank it off. I hope you found this video helpful, and I will see you in the next video where I will be taking the engine out of the car.